The following is a special presentation of the First Horizon Green Sports Zone. This is the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Terry Hoese Show. Welcome back to First Horizon's Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Terry Hoese Show, where we cover everything on the court with the South Greene Rebels basketball team. We'll run through the first half of the season and see what the Rebels have been up to in their first 5 games of the season and see what's up next in the road ahead. But first, as always, we need to go ahead and get a word in from our sponsors first. So we'll be right back after these quick messages here on First Horizon's Green Sports Zone. The Gary's Paint and Body Shop Terry Hoese Show is brought to you by Gateway Ford Nissan, Tommy's Plumbing, Gary's Paint and Body Shop, and by First Horizon Bank.
Twist on your typical banking options. What if instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you had one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon. Big bank muscle with small bank hustle. Big bank convenience and small bank connection. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank.
Welcome back to First Horizon's Green Sports Zone. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Terry Hoese Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood with the South Greene Rebels basketball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Terry Hoese. Coach,
Tyler,
how's it going?
it's good.
In a new setting this week. This might be the first time we've ever moved away from your office.
My office is being used right now, so we didn't have much of a choice.
Hey, maybe it'll draw in more viewers. I've noticed that. I've not done many studies or research, but every time you move to a different setting, I guess people's eyes gravitate towards a new setting. So.
There's academic stuff going on in here. I don't know about it.
Yeah, but in a fresh new place with fresh new games, started the season off with Tennessee High, went to the Hardee's Classic, won your 3rd straight Hardee's Classic championship, and then went back up to play at Crockett again with a regular season matchup and suffered a loss to the Pioneers. So 5 games in, 3-2 at the moment. Take us through your first stretch of games this year.
They've all been against quality opponents, I will say that. We went up to Tennessee High, and I don't know that I could have competed with Tennessee High if I'd had everybody, but you go up and Gavin Dyer doesn't play, and then football, I'd had football kids for one day, so they didn't get a whole lot of playing time and weren't ready to play. Even I put them out there, they were pretty gassed fast. So Tennessee High game, I'll say, is a wash. I wouldn't say that was a true test of where we're at or where we're going to be. So, man, they're good. It wouldn't shock me to see them win that league and going down the road a little piece. They've got some tools. Hardee's Classic, one of my favorite places to go. For some reason, I don't know what it is about it, but we always go and play well. Started off, with Daniel Boone, and I didn't really know what to expect. Lost 3 quality basketball players last year and 3 quality starters. And to come in and basically regroup, I didn't really know what to expect. But went up, we played really well. Did have to come from behind. We had our moments. But beat a pretty good Boone team, and then turned around and played Crockett on Saturday or Friday nights in the semis, and jumped out on Crockett. And I thought, well, here we go. It's going to be just like it has been the last few years. But then look up and we're behind, and had to battle back and forth and slopped one out against Crockett. And then come in on Saturday night against Volunteer. Volunteer's got a quality program too, and they look like they're well coached. They've got good size, and they got kids that can shoot. And didn't feel like we really played well Saturday night. We had 24 turnovers, and I just didn't feel like we were as good as what we had been the last 2 nights. But fortunately for us, Volunteer wasn't as good as they had been the last 2 nights either. So felt like we stole the Hardee's championship. So, but it is a good place to go. It's 3 years in a row, and I went back and looked. I think this was our 6th time going up there, and we won it our first year. So we've won 4 out of 6 times.
Pretty good percentage.
So I'll take it. But unfortunately, history repeated itself. This is, I don't know how many years we've played in the Hardee's Classic and then turned around and led off with Crockett right off the bat. And went back to Crockett, and they played really well, and we played not so well. But they are a quality basketball team. That's what I told Sam Friday night after the game was over. And I even spoke with one of their players out in the parking lot, and I told him, I was like, look, you got a new coach. Sam does a good job. I said, if you guys be patient, you're going to be a reward from it. So they come in, Tuesday, and we're ready to go, and they were well prepared, and I didn't feel like my kids were well prepared, and I take that on myself. So hopefully we can get back on the winning side tomorrow night. But it's been a long 2 weeks already, and played nobody but AAA schools, and all of the schools that we've played have been quality programs.
And you look at it too, and I'd have to go back and look historically, but it almost seems like there's a Hardee's hangover, because every game after you win the Hardee's Classic, it ends up resulting in a loss or a tough game. And it might be that way for other schools that have won it in the past 30-something years that they've hosted the tournament. But what do you think it is about the Hardie's Classic where everybody seems to play so well throughout the tournament and then have a letdown the next game after it?
Well, and I told you, I didn't feel like we played well Saturday night. I feel like you're starting the season off and kids still don't have their legs. We condition long before the season ever starts, but it's still not like playing condition. And you go and you play on Friday nights and then turn around and play Saturday night. We played back-to-back nights and then turned around and had the Sunday, Monday off and then go again. And quick turnarounds, I don't know. I just feel like at the beginning of the season it's tough. And I even watched NCAA games over Thanksgiving, and the tournament in the Bahamas, the tournament in Nevada. And you look at Tennessee. Tennessee goes and plays and beats, wins the first 2 games, beats the number 3 team in the country in Houston, and then turns around and doesn't play very well the next night. So I think there is a lot to say for that. Get it out now, but it's hard to come postseason too. I mean, you start playing and you have to play back-to-back nights. And eventually, you're bound to have a bad game.
Mm-hmm. And you're one of the only 2 coaches that I can have this conversation with too, because football went so long for your program, and getting those guys back. You spoke about it with the Tennessee High loss. They've only had 1 day of practice before they go into a regular season basketball game, and it takes a while to get into that shape. Sometimes it could take up to a month. So, as a coach that deals with that often, how do you get those boys back in shape and work them back into the lineup?
It's not easy, because you've had other kids that have been there conditioning and are probably much more prepared to go play. And it's not always the case that it's not always your most talented kids. And I'm not saying anything about the kids that are here. I mean, I had kids that are starting right now that were here, and don't want to take away anything from them. But I had starters at the football field too, and to get those guys back down here and get them acclimated, we've already put new stuff in. We've already practiced for over a week. We've put new stuff in, and we've been up and down the floor. If nothing else, just the shooting aspect. Those guys, majority of them hadn't been in the gym. They've been concentrating on football, and I've got no issue with that. I'm going to have to do a better job with scheduling, because at this point there's only 4 teams in that football conference, so they're going to go to the first round every year. So I didn't do a very good job of scheduling that. We normally play that game on a Saturday, and Coach McMeans called and asked me if we could back it up Tuesday, and I told him yes. I really don't care when we play, never have. Don't care when we play or who we play, never have. But it would have been a much better benefit for us to have waited till Saturday and had that entire week with those kids before we went and jumped into that.
Going back to the Hardie's Classic too, how much different was it? It's something that a lot of coaches don't ever really look at, but you're playing a set of coaches that have new coaches. I don't know if Volunteer had a new coach this year, but I know for sure that Daniel Boone and David Crockett both had new coaches with Coach Connell and then Coach Tarleton. So how different, was it any different going in and playing new coaches with new teams for the first time?
It was different playing Daniel Boone, because I didn't know what they had. This whole, whatever you want to call it, transfer rule.
Yeah.
There's kids moving around, and you never know what teams are going to have. I had scrimmage Crockett back in the summer, so I kind of had an idea of what was coming through Crockett. And I also have coached, I don't know how many games against Coach Tarleton, so kind of had an idea of, it's so early in the season, there's no way he could go in and put all of his stuff in, because he didn't get there until the end of summer. He didn't really have any time with those kids. So kind of went back and watched game film from what they'd done last year and sets they ran and those kinds of things. But I will tell you, once Coach Tarleton gets his stuff put in with that group, they're going to be tough to beat. He's got athletes, he's got kids can shoot it, they play hard, and they're big and physical. So he's got a lot to look forward to.
I meant to ask this question first. I've asked the previous 5 coaches this question right off the bat when I began the interviews this week. It was Thanksgiving last week. So How was your Thanksgiving break?
Short.
Short, of course. Always seems that way with basketball coaches, especially ones who were in the Hardee's Classic.
You practice. We had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off of school, and you practice on Wednesday. My daughter was playing in Granger, so went down and watched her play, practiced, and then come back, and you get Thursday off for Thanksgiving, basically. And I've never practiced on Thanksgiving. I just think, I don't want to sound like those games are important, but I do think that there's other things that are more important. So I never try to take kids away from their families on Thanksgiving or Christmas Day. So we didn't practice on Thanksgiving. Come back in Friday morning, did a walkthrough, and shoot around to get prepared for Crockett and go play. So you play Friday and Saturday, look up, you get Sunday off, and you're back in here preparing on Monday to go on Tuesday. So once basketball season starts, man, it rolls.
Oh, yeah, it does. It seems like it takes forever, but it flies by at the same time. Most important question, too. I've kept a tally throughout this week so far. I've been asking everybody, are you a turkey family, are you a ham family, or are you both?
I'm both.
Both, okay. Both is leading the way.
I think it's hard to say you've had Thanksgiving if you didn't have some turkey. But on the flip side of that, if the turkey's not good and prepared right, I'd much rather have ham.
Okay, so far we've got 3 boths, 2 turkeys, and 1 ham. That's the tally so far through 6. So it seems like both seems to be pretty popular here in Greene County. But we'll go into the second half, talk about what the Rebels have next on their schedule as we enter conference action here soon. It's already time. It feels crazy to already be talking about it, but we'll talk about it right after the break here on First Horizon's Greene Sports Zone.
Here's a twist on your typical banking options. What if instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you had one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon. Big bank muscle with small bank hustle. Big bank convenience and small bank connection. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank.
Tommy's Plumbing has been in business for 30 years, and we're still growing because we treat our customers like family. We are proud to do any job from kitchen faucet installation to a complete home repipe. Tommy's Plumbing offers warranties on most products installed by our technicians. When the job is done, our friendly professionals make sure to clean up. We invite you to visit our new showroom in Jonesboro to see our quality products for yourself. Tommy's is the only one to call when you need a fast, reliable, professional plumber in the Tri-Cities.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect: games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greenville, expect the unexpected: low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at GatewayNissanGreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in Greenville.
Welcome back to First Horizon's Greene Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Terry Hoese Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood with the South Greene Rebels basketball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Terry Hoese. So you've got 3 games coming up that we'll talk about. going on the road for 2 of them on Friday and Saturday, coming back home on Tuesday. For the more important game, you've got Granger and North Greene to round out the week. So tell me what you expect whenever you go on the road and play the Grizzlies and the Huskies.
Granger's a tough place to go play, and I saw them play last week in their own tournament, and they're physical and shoot it really well and play hard. Coach Wolfie's already sent me a message today and had a snow dance meme on his phone and said, hoped it snowed us out and we didn't get to come, but I assure you, Coach Wolfenbarger's got his kids ready to go and they're excited about playing. So great relationship with those guys down there at Granger, and I've had people often ask me why we continue to play them. They're not conference. Man, it's an hour away and they're good friends, and every year he asked me if I just want to flip a coin for see who wins the basketball game, and we can just go play rook. But they'll have a quality program, and it's one of the nice things. I'm finally playing somebody that I'm kind of familiar with as far as he's been there. So we went back, we watched last year's games and sets, and kind of feel comfortable going to play. But win or lose, I always enjoy going and playing Granger.
Saturday will be new also.
Saturday's a new coach.
Another new coach,
yes.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure we scrimmaged North Greene this summer with Sam still there, but, new coach coming in, I'm sure he's trying to put his stuff in, so not really sure what to expect on Saturday.
And then going into next week, it's crazy that we're already up to conference games at this point. Going into next week, you play who a lot of people would probably bet on being the favorites in the conference, moving down from Class 3A to Class 2A and joining the District 1-2A conference, and that's the Unicoi County Blue Devils. The unfortunate part is you begin your conference slate with them. The fortunate part is you get them here at home. So give us a preview of what you can expect Tuesday night.
They shoot it well. They're not big. They look a lot like us. On the size side of it, but they're experienced. Most of these kids have started since they were freshmen or sophomores, so they've got a ton of experience. They've got one of the best freshmen in East Tennessee that's there playing right now, and there's a lot of hype around him. So some of the best shooters, with Jackson, Simmons, and they can all shoot it. It's not just Jackson, but he's going to take 25, 30 shots a game, and if he's making shots, man, he's tough to defend. He'll shoot it from 25, 30 feet. So it ought to be a good atmosphere in here on Tuesday night. It's somebody we've not played in quite some time. They've been in 3A for several years. Used to be in our conference, so kind of getting back to an old conference rivalry right here. But they have a new coach too. So we go back and look. I've coached against Coach Brules when he was at North Greene, but he's been coaching the girls for the last several years, and they've switched out. So I really don't know what to expect as far as sets and those types of things. We'll just have to line up and try to watch some game film and get what we can get.
I think 5 of your first 8 games may be against teams with new coaches. I think the only 3 that may not may be Tennessee High, Granger, and maybe 6 out of 8 then. But that's crazy how you're playing so many. Or Volunteer, that's the other one.
There's nobody else as crazy as I am.
I'll give it to you on that one. If it's self-proclaimed, it's self-proclaimed, and you can't argue against it.
It's 26 years, and love it just as much today as I did everyone. So no place I'd rather be. So I'm here until they run me off. Or retirement rolls around, one of the two.
I was about to say, retirement might get to you before they run you off. Yeah. But it's crazy that you don't get to play your first home game until, game number 8 and week number 4. But we expect to be rocking in here on Tuesday night with Unicoi County. But got a tough stretch ahead. Hopefully next time we sit down, we can talk about a few wins and talk about more Rebel basketball.
I hope so.
Well, that's all I got this week for you.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you once again. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Terry Hoese Show. We look forward to seeing you next time here on First Horizon's Green Sports Zone.